Welcome back to another recap. Today we are diving into the movie Honey Don't. The film kicks off with a wreck in Bakersfield, California. Behind the wheel is Mia Novotny, very much not alive. Enter Cher, a mysterious woman with zero respect for crime scenes. She pulls a ring with a cross symbol off Mia's finger, takes a carefree, skinny dip in the lake like she's on vacation, then roars off on her motorcycle just before the police arrive. Meanwhile, private investigator Honey Donahue is tangled up in a post-one-night stand. She receives a call and slips out of bed, letting her date know the door locks behind her, implying for her to leave as well. Honey makes her way to the accident site, where Detective Marty greets her with his best attempt at small talk. Honey clocks Mia immediately but lies, insisting she wasn't a client. When Marty tries his luck flirting, Honey shuts him down with a reminder that she's not in the market for his kind of company. Back at her office, Honey's assistant Spider ushers in a new client, Mr. Siegfried. Before they get started, Honey tells Spider to cancel tomorrow's meeting with Mia Novotny, knowing full well it's no longer necessary. Mr. Siegfried lays out his problem. He suspects his boyfriend is cheating. Honey points out that if he's hiring a PI, he already knows the truth. But Siegfried isn't here for clarity. He wants receipts so he can shove it in his boyfriend's face. After clocking out, Honey stops by her sister Heidi's house. Heidi is a frazzled single mom drowning in kids, while her teenage daughter Corinne perfects the art of being difficult. Corinne doesn't bother with pleasantries. She hops into a car with her boyfriend Mickey, tells her mom she's not coming home tonight, and speeds off. Across town, at the four-way Temple Church, Reverend Drew Devlin is in the middle of laying hands on a parishioner when his enforcer, Shuggy, barges in. One of their drivers, little Joey, has turned up dead. Outside, Joey's father clutches the body in tears. Shuggy confirms the kid overdosed on the church's own stash. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Honey keeps digging into Mia's life, stopping by a piano bar where she questions the owners Elle and Gary about Mia, who worked there for all of a week. Gary wonders if Mia owed her money, but Honey sets him straight. Mia had reached out for help with something too hot for the cops, and they were supposed to meet at that very bar. Gary mentions Mia had been living in Lamont. Meanwhile, Reverend Drew meets with Cher, the liaison between him and his French drug suppliers. She tells him the French are furious about Mia's death, since it risks exposing his church. Drew denies ever knowing her, but Cher isn't buying it. She tosses the stolen ring at him, proof that Mia was tangled up with his holy operation. Honey then drops by the police station, still chasing leads. She speaks to MG Falcone, an officer that she shares a mutual attraction with. MG slips her Mia's home address and compliments her heels. At a bar, things spiral fast. A guy named Colligan tries to score drugs from Hector, one of Reverend Drew's dealers. The problem is Colligan is broke again. Instead of cash, he offers tricks as payment. Hector recoils in disgust, shoves him off, and bolts. As Hector peels out of the lot, he accidentally runs Colligan over, leaving him as flat as his wallet. The bartender witnesses the whole disaster and immediately calls the cops. Meanwhile, Honey rolls up in her trusty blue Chevy to meet Mia's parents. They're polite but baffled. No clue why their daughter would ever call a private investigator. Honey heads to Mia's room, and at first it screams, "Regular girl next door." But digging deeper, she uncovers something very different. A full S&M outfit hidden under her bed, carefully tucked inside church robes. Back at the four-way Temple Church, Reverend Drew is busy performing fire and brimstone theatrics from the pulpit. Once the sermon ends, Shuggy fills him in on Hector's little vehicular manslaughter incident. A bartender saw the whole thing, and what's left of Colligan is still cooling in the parking lot. Drew realizes this is bad for business. The French won't like their dealer running over clients, so he orders Shuggy to handle Hector. Meanwhile, Hector is hauling laundry outside his house, blissfully unaware he's on the chopping block. Shuggy makes his move by unaliving Hector's grandmother first. Hector finds her body, but before he can process, Shuggy lunges with a knife and somehow stabs Grandma again. Talk about overkill. Hector snaps. He beats Shuggy down, jabs a fork in his throat, and drives a knife into his chest. Shuggy, proving he's basically unkillable, stays on his feet long enough to shoot Hector before collapsing and calmly collecting his teeth off the floor. Hector, still clinging to life like a cockroach after a nuke, grabs an iron and beats Shuggy into paste. Just to be sure, he grabs Shuggy's own gun and pumps 4 bullets into him. That ought to settle it. Back at her office, Honey gets a visit from Mr. Siegfried, who's now in pieces after learning Colligan, his boyfriend, is dead. Honey delivers the bad news. The bartender confirmed Colligan was out on a date, but not with the guy who unalived him. Siegfried leaves heartbroken, and Honey promises to keep him updated if the cops turn up anything. Once he's gone, Honey asks Spider for the personal number of Officer M.G. Falcone. Later, Honey runs into M.G. at the bar. Their chemistry skips the foreplay of conversation and goes straight to, well, let's just say the bar stool gets more action than it was built for. Then the two go to Honey's place to continue the party. In the morning, there is no cozy breakfast. Instead, Honey is at the sink scrubbing down what looks like the entire inventory of an adult toy store when the doorbell rings. It's Corinne, sporting a fresh black eye courtesy of her boyfriend Mickey. She begs Honey not to tell her mom, worried she'll freak out and call the cops. MG, standing right there, dryly reminds her the cops already know, since she is one. Honey patches Corinne up, makes her promise to ditch Mickey, and heads to work. There, Spider fills her in about the four-way temple, the same folks who buy the robes Mia had, and slips her their address. Meanwhile, Hector storms into the church and finds Reverend Drew mid-S&M session with 2 women. Hector pulls a gun, but misses every shot, proving he's the world's worst assassin. Drew quickly disarms him and unalives him in front of his stunned guests. Just another day at the temple. Elsewhere, Corinne is at her job when she notices an older man watching her from a corner table. His stare makes her skin crawl. Honey follows the trail to the church and confronts Drew. She presses him on Mia's death and the temple's less-than-holy activities. Drew plays dumb, denies knowing Mia, and even tries to hit on Honey. She walks away empty-handed, but with a clear picture. Drew is a predator hiding behind a pulpit. Honey and MG's fling continues, this time with pillow talk about their traumas. MG reveals her father was abusive and supposedly killed overseas. Later that night, Corinne leaves work and heads to the bus stop, only to find the same older man waiting there. He tells her he loves her, which sends her running into the dark, terrified, as her bus pulls away. The next day, Heidi calls Honey in a panic. Corinne never came home. Honey goes straight to Mickey's trailer, convinced he's behind it. She roughs him up for beating Corinne, but realizes he's innocent of the disappearance. Back home, Honey finds the same older man waiting for her. Turns out, he's her and Heidi's estranged father, and he is back after years of abuse. He claims he tried to talk to Corinne at the bus stop, but she bolted. He attempts a teary, pitiful act, but Honey isn't buying it. Desperate, Honey scours the town, but finds nothing. Then she gets a call from Detective Marty. Mia was stabbed before her fatal crash. Honey starts piecing it together. Mia was a lost girl, perfect prey for someone like Drew. And now Corinne, beaten and vulnerable, could be in the same danger. Honey heads back to the temple, but this time she walks into the aftermath of a coup. Drew is finishing with Cher when she turns the tables, executing him on behalf of the angry French suppliers. Honey hears the gunshot, glimpses Cher leaving on her motorcycle, but arrives too late. She rushes to the station to report what she heard. Marty shrugs it off, telling her to file a missing persons report for her niece like everyone else. Fed up, she turns to MG for help, but she is not at the police station and isn't answering her phone. Suspicious, Honey has Spider dig up MG's address. She drives over, only to realize MG lives directly across from the bus stop where Corinne vanished. Inside her house, Honey snoops through the mess, flipping through her old yearbook until MG suddenly appears. Honey asks about Corinne. MG deflects, ranting about Honey judging her home. But then Honey spots a lipstick smudge on a teacup, the exact shade Corinne wears. Realizing Honey knows that she kidnapped her niece, MG attacks her with a tea kettle. They fight. MG is revealed to have not only killed her father, but also Mia and 2 other sex workers connected to the temple, seeing them as hopeless victims. Honey manages to shoot MG 3 times, but not before taking a knife wound herself. Honey wakes up in a hospital bed, alive but battered. Heidi is there, reunited with Corinne. She goes over the case's conclusion with Marty, who once again tries to hit on her. As Honey is driving home, she sees Cher on her motorcycle and flirts with her. The end. So, what's up with the title? At its core, Honey Don't is about human weakness. Honey O'Donoghue warns others not to tug at threads they already know will unravel, but she can't stop herself from doing it anyway. Her conversation with Mr. Siegfried nails it. Why ask questions if you already know the answer? Do you really want to go down that road? The title itself works like a neon warning sign. Honey, don't. Don't dig deeper. Don't chase trouble. Don't fall for the wrong women. And yet, she always does. Who is the real killer? For most of the film, all signs point to Reverend Drew and his church of bad decisions. But nope, the real killer is MG, the cop Honey falls for. MG grew up in abuse, killed her father, and twisted that trauma into a personal crusade. She decided that women who endured abuse without fighting back didn't deserve to live. In her mind, she was saving them from their own choices. In reality, she was just another predator. What happened to Mia? Mia wanted Honey's help to expose Reverend Drew and the church. But before she could talk, MG got her first. MG saw her as another helpless woman to put out of her misery. The cult only scrambled afterward to cover their tracks, which is why everything pointed back to Drew. The ending scene explained. So what does the last scene mean? Honey survives her injuries, and as she drives through town, she spots a woman on a scooter and starts flirting. But that woman is Cher, the cartel killer tied to the church. The ending suggests two possibilities. Honey is clueless, drawn to dangerous women, destined to repeat her mistakes until one of them takes her out. Or Honey knows exactly what she's doing. She recognizes Cher's scooter from before, and she's intentionally playing with fire to get close to the cartel. Either way, the title says it all. Honey Don't. So what do you think? Is Honey just a reckless detective doomed to chase the wrong women? Or is she secretly one step ahead, using her attraction as a weapon? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious which side you're on. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time,